This next video is Pore Physics, a calm, science-forward story about blackhead prevention that feels like a documentary, not a skincare lecture. We're going to follow a single pore from the inside out, watch exactly how a blackhead forms over time, and then intervene at multiple points in that timeline with the smallest, safest changes that alter the outcome. If you understand the physics of the pore, how flow, adhesion, viscosity, and surface films interact, you stop guessing, you stop scrubbing, and you start preventing. Imagine a pore as a narrow tunnel lined with living cells. At the base of the tunnel sits a sebaceous gland that releases sebum, a complex blend of lipids designed to protect the skin. Along the tunnel wall, cells naturally shed as part of normal turnover. In an ideal world, oil flows upward, cells shed and exit smoothly, and the surface remains balanced. But in real life, the tunnel's internal environment can shift. The mixture can become thicker. The shed cells can become stickier. The exit can become partially covered by external films, and the tunnel can become inflamed and reactive. When those conditions align, the mixture compacts, the exit becomes blocked, and a plug forms. If the plug is open to air at the surface, it oxidizes and appears dark, an open comedone, commonly called a blackhead. The crucial point is that the blackhead is the final state of a process, not the starting point. That means prevention is about altering the process before the final state appears. We prevent by improving flow, reducing adhesion, managing surface films, and protecting the barrier so the pore lining stays calm. Now we zoom in on the timeline of a blackhead formation event. Phase 1 is microadhesion. Shed cells inside the tunnel start sticking together more than they should. This can happen for many reasons: oil composition, subtle inflammation, dehydration-driven barrier stress, or irritation from harsh products. When the tunnel is irritated, it signals for repair, and repair signals can increase stickiness. Phase 2 is viscosity increase. The mixture of oil and cells becomes thicker. Think of honey versus water. Thick mixtures move slower and get trapped more easily. Phase 3 is flow restriction. The exit becomes narrower, or the surface film becomes heavier, so the mixture cannot exit smoothly. Phase 4 is compaction. The trapped material compresses into a plug. Phase 5 is oxidation at the surface, creating the visible dark appearance. If you intervene only at Phase 5 by ripping out plugs, you don't prevent Phase 1 through 4, so the process repeats. That's why extraction alone never solves blackheads long-term. Real prevention is early intervention. Now we ask, where can we intervene safely and effectively? There are 4 intervention points. Intervention point 1. Reduce adhesion inside the tunnel. This means encouraging normal shedding and reducing the tendency of cells to clump. This is where long-term follicle normalization strategies matter. Intervention point 2. Reduce viscosity and improve flow. This means helping oil and debris move outward rather than compact. This is where oil-compatible decongestion strategies help. Intervention point 3. Manage surface film so the exit is not constantly covered by residue from sunscreen, makeup, hair products, pollution, and sweat crystals. Intervention point 4. Protect barrier integrity so the tunnel lining is not inflamed, reactive, or in constant repair mode. Barrier stress increases adhesion and inflammation, which increases clog risk. So the physics-based prevention plan is not a single step. It's a balanced set of forces that keep the pore environment stable. The key is balance. Too much force in one direction, like over-cleansing, creates counterforces like irritation and rebound oil. Too little cleansing leaves heavy films and increases flow restriction. So we aim for a stable equilibrium. Now we introduce a physics concept that helps you understand why aggressive routines backfire. Friction and shear stress. When you scrub the skin with rough tools or harsh particles, you create shear stress at the surface. This can disrupt the barrier and create microinflammation. Microinflammation makes the pore lining more adhesive and reactive, which increases Phase 1 clumping. So scrubbing can temporarily remove surface debris, but it can increase the underlying conditions that produce clogs. That's why the pore physics approach is gentle. You minimize unnecessary shear stress and instead rely on controlled chemical and behavioral interventions that don't injure the barrier. Another physics concept is occlusion. Occlusion means trapping moisture and heat under a layer, like a mask, heavy makeup, or a thick film of product. Heat increases oil flow initially but can also increase sweat and soften the surface, while trapped moisture and friction can increase irritation. Under occlusion, the pore environment changes. The surface film becomes thicker, and sweat mixed with oil can leave residue that increases flow restriction. This is why modern life masks, helmets, long-wear products can increase comedones in certain zones. The solution is not to assault the skin with more exfoliation. The solution is to manage occlusion conditions, reduce friction, keep contact surfaces clean, and remove films consistently. Now we introduce a concept called surface film impedance. In electronics, impedance resists flow. On skin, a thick surface film resists outward flow of sebum and debris. Sunscreen, makeup, and certain heavy moisturizers create films. Films are not inherently bad. Sunscreen film is protective. The problem arises when film is too heavy for your flow level, or when film is not removed properly and accumulates in layers day after day. Film impedance increases Phase 3 restriction and makes compaction more likely. So the physics plan says, if you wear protective films, you must have a reliable film removal strategy that dissolves and lifts without high shear stress. That means gentle, thorough removal rather than aggressive scrubbing. The goal is to reduce impedance while preserving the barrier. Now we address the barrier with a physics lens. The barrier controls transepidermal water loss. When the barrier is compromised, water loss increases. The skin becomes dehydrated, more sensitive, and more inflamed. Inflammation shifts the pore environment toward adhesion and abnormal shedding, so barrier care is not cosmetic. It's a mechanical factor that changes the viscosity and adhesion inside pores. Hydrated, calm skin sheds more normally. Dehydrated, irritated skin sheds in a sticky way. That's why a good moisturizer can indirectly prevent blackheads by stabilizing the conditions inside the tunnel. People with oily skin often avoid moisturizer, thinking oil equals hydration. But oil is not water. You can be oily and dehydrated simultaneously, and dehydration often worsens pore appearance and congestion risk. So in pore physics, moisturizer is a stabilizer. It keeps the surface flexible and reduces the frictional stress that triggers inflammation. Now we move into the practical translation. How do you run a pore physics prevention plan in daily life without turning it into a complex routine? The first rule is preserve the barrier. That means gentle cleansing, lukewarm water, minimal scrubbing, and avoiding astringent overuse. The second rule is control film impedance. That means choosing product textures appropriate for your flow level and removing films reliably at night. The third rule is apply a controlled flow and shedding intervention at a frequency your skin tolerates. You choose one main intervention and use it consistently. The fourth rule is reduce occlusion and friction triggers where possible. This is not about perfection. It's about reducing the biggest mechanical stressors that keep the pore environment unstable. Now, let's talk about the nose, because the nose is a special zone in pore physics. The nose has dense oil glands and high flow. It also has highly visible pore openings. Many of the dots on the nose are normal flow structures. In physics terms, the nose has a high baseline flow and a high baseline visibility. When you remove surface oil, the openings appear more pronounced because contrast increases. When you over-scrub, you increase shear stress and inflammation. So the nose strategy is about flow control without shear damage, consistent gentle decongestion targeted to the nose, light hydration to soften contrast, and film impedance management to prevent heavy buildup. If you wear glasses, the nose pads create localized occlusion and friction. Cleaning them is a mechanical intervention that can reduce local congestion. If you wipe your nose frequently with tissues, that creates friction. Protecting the area with a tiny slip layer can reduce irritation and thus reduce adhesion. Now we look at an important phenomenon: why blackheads come back even after they look clean. Because the pore is a living system with continuous flow. Oil production continues daily. Cells continue shedding daily. If you remove a plug, you removed a snapshot, not the system. Prevention means continuously keeping phases 1 through 4 from reaching phase 5. That's why maintenance matters. A physics-based plan always includes maintenance because the forces that create clogs are ongoing forces. Maintenance doesn't mean maximum intensity forever. It means a stable, low-level intervention frequency that keeps the pore environment in equilibrium. Now we introduce feedback loops, another physics concept. Harsh routines create a feedback loop, stripping irritation, inflammation, sticky, shedding more clogs, more stripping. A gentle, stable routine creates a different loop. Stable barrier normal, shedding better flow, fewer clogs, less need for aggressive actions, barrier stays stable. Your goal is to get into the stable loop. The way you do that is by refusing the temptation to escalate when you see dots. You instead keep the system stable long enough for the biology to change. Now, to make this documentary-style video feel complete, we'll walk through 4 portraits of pores, 4 different physics profiles, and show how each stabilizes. Profile 1. High-flow pores. These pores produce oil rapidly, especially in the T-zone. Their risk is viscosity and flow overload. They need light textures, consistent film removal, and targeted flow-friendly decongestion. They should avoid heavy occlusion and harsh stripping. Profile 2. High-film pores. These pores are often covered by layers, sunscreen, makeup, occupational exposure, and the risk is impedance and residue accumulation. They need reliable film removal and fewer layers, and they often improve dramatically with better nighttime removal rather than stronger acids. Profile 3. Fragile barrier pores. These pores sit in a skin environment that becomes inflamed easily. Their risk is adhesion increase due to inflammation. They need barrier stabilization first and slower intervention frequency. Profile 4. Mechanical stress pores. These pores live under friction and occlusion. Masks, helmets, phone contact. Their risk is inflammation and impedance due to mechanical stress. They need friction, reduction, and consistent reset after stress exposure. Most people have a mix, but one profile dominates. Once you know your profile, you choose the smallest set of actions that correct the dominant physics problem. Now, we end with the key promise of pore physics. You don't have to fight your skin, you have to manage forces. If you reduce shear stress, keep film impedance controlled, protect the barrier so adhesion decreases,